Hello! Hello, everyone. Terri Hardin, Walt Disney's legendary Imagineer here. How are you? Happy Friday. As you saw in the thumbnail, I have a new announcement to make. I have a book coming out. Yes, I do, and it's all about me. No, it's really not. It's really not all about me. It's about my dear friend and I, Lynette Ecklin. Lynette Ecklin wrote a wonderful, fun little children's book, and I illustrated it. Now, when I say I illustrated it, it's a little bit different than I did the line art, which means that what I did was to create the black and white line art. And here is an example. In fact, well, let me just switch you guys a little bit so you can see exactly what the situation calls for. So here's the book again. And this is the cover. I'm going to explain to you about this book and how excited I am. And I'm not being rude. Happy birthday, Disneyland, happening tomorrow. Woohoo! But back to my book, and then we'll talk about Disneyland. We'll talk about all kinds of stuff. Today is Ask Me Anything. So feel free to post in the comments any questions that you want to ask of me today. And the goal right now is to keep it a little less than the hours that I used to do before, because as we open up from the pandemic, I'm going to get back to the way I did it before the pandemic, which was about an hour and a half of questions, and then I carried it over into the next one. So I promise to leave room for your questions because it is Ask Me Anything. But I did want to tell you about this book because I'm having an amazing pre-sale. You heard it right. Boop, boop. So this is the first children's book that Lynette has written. She wrote it. And that I have my original art in, hardcover book. Now, I did a softcover book for Starling Watch where I did the cover, but this one has my line art throughout. So here are some examples of the art, and Lynette used watercolors and hand painted all of the pages, and then they were beautifully reprinted in the book. Okay, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But here are the beautiful colors are hers. The line art is mine. The story is hers. So let's take this character right here. So you can see at the end, you've got this sweet little fairy. We don't want to give away the book too much, but we have a sampling so you can see how rich. And I don't even know if the rainbow colors around the words and around this beautiful little fairy are showing up, but it's a very lush book. It's very lush, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute. But what I also want to share with you is that now that you've seen that fairy, here's the art that I did. So here is the art that I gave to Lynette, and then Lynette did the coloring. So I did the entire book line art like this. Okay, so I sketched it out, and then she made the color. She put color and created the rest of the book in color. Okay, so colored by her, illustrated by me, and also written by Lynette. So there's the little fairy again. And the nice thing about these is the fairies are all different, come from all walks of life, because that's me, right? You know, I am a mixed kid, so I'm really grateful and happy that all the fairies have these different nice little looks about them. So it's a really wonderful book. And let me just tell you that it's available for pre-sale. Woohoo! Yeah! As of today, and I just found out, so I've often talked to you about the tribe. And Terri's Tribe is a group that's on my Patreon page. So here it is, okay? One of the things that's beautiful about Terri's Tribe is if you want to be a part of something where you help each other and you support each other and it's a very positive atmosphere, I urge you to join. Now, full disclosure, it's $5 a month membership fee, $60 a year, but it is an amazing opportunity to get together. So I do 2 Facebook Lives Monday and Friday before I come and speak with you. And then I always do a Zoom call on Wednesday, and we chat for about an hour, sometimes two. Last Wednesday, we talked for a lot longer, but that's what happens. And what happened today is that I announced the pre-sale of this book and told you where to go and get it. And there's a couple of little things that I didn't do quite right. Now, you know me in technology, or if you don't, let me just let you know about technology. Me and technology are always an e-ticket. And so it's always an e-ticket. If you're just joining us on YouTube or Facebook, please feel free to comment. If you look at this after the live, feel free to comment as well. But I am announcing a pre-sale for the book. And all you do is go to, that's not the one. See, technology. You go to my website, TERRIHARDIN.com, and above my head, you will see, and I'm going to walk you through it. Now, this is iPad and desktop. One of my tribe members today pointed out that on the phone, the book doesn't show up and they can't really find out how to get to the book to purchase it. But the tribe also said if you change your phone to desktop mode, at least if you want to grab it today, it will show you. But what I will do is get it on the front page. I thought it was on the front page as of last night when I did it, and for some reason it doesn't show up. So let me walk you through it a little bit so you all feel confident about ordering the book. $18 plus tax and shipping, $18. This book retails for $22.95. Okay. If you come to see me in live and in person, it will be $20. Okay. So this is the best deal to get. 18 bucks and plus, or you can pick it up. So if you're going to see me at one of my events, the Disneyland fan club, or you're in Indiana and I'm going to be in Indiana and you want to wait, or you are in the UK and you want me to bring it over to you, just click pick up and you won't have to worry about shipping. All right. The shipping cost right now is general. So if for any reason it turns out that I let's say I save $5 and it's like $2, which I seriously doubt. But just for an example, don't worry. I'm going to be sure you get at least $1 or $2 back. Okay. If sometimes it may be $1 more, but that helps with the handling and packing it up and addressing and everything. Just pays for my time. You know how it works. So it's $18. And if you're someone who wants to buy a large quantity, 10 or more, then I want you to write to me, Terri@TerriHarden.com, or you can message me on Messenger, or you can hit in the comments and say, I'd like to know more about quantities, because it is going to make a great Halloween gift and a great Christmas gift. Remember, I've been a judge with Outrageous Pumpkin since 2005. So there's that. And then Lynette, my best friend and writer, is no slouch either. She's worked on things, Jurassic Park and Sandlot and Mouse Hunt. Hers just, like my resume, her resume too. So you've got a couple of heavy hitters there, and it's a chance. And all books are signed. So again, let me walk you through how to do this. Okay. So, here we go. Okay. So you go to TerriHarden.com. All right. And here it is, TerriHarden.com. Right now, this is the way the page looks. I am in process of redoing my website. And there's a couple of things on my website that need to be fixed and adjusted, but we'll make it easy. Above my head is the words online store. Just tap online store and it's going to take you to my online store. Unless it makes me, there we go. You tap it and it takes you to this page, which is my online store. Now, as you can see, it should be in the front. But again, Terri's messed up in some way. So as soon as I finish broadcasting today, I will fix that. But for now, above my head, hit shop now. And here is the book. Okay. And it says sale because pre-sale, you get it for $18. Look at that, guys. $22.95, 18. This is the best deal. So buy now. I mean, and let me just give you full disclosure on this. The reason I'm asking you to buy if you want it is because I'm looking to get an idea of how many of you want it before my sample comes. The sample is en route, and what happens when you create a book is that it's very, very smart to have one printed up as an example so that you can make sure the pages are proper, the colors are the way you want them, the dialogue, you haven't missed anything. Now, this is a children's book, and Lynette and I both believe it's going to be just fine. But we have a tight deadline of wanting to make sure that I have books, physical, in my hot little hands by September 12th at the Disneyland Fan Club show and sale in Anaheim. So that's a tight window because the publisher is telling us, they need so much time to print them. Now, let me talk to you about how amazing this book is and what you're getting for $18 plus shipping and tax if you live in California, of course. It is a hardbound, hardcover book. You saw the colors and understand that it doesn't do justice on this presentation. But it's beautiful, and it's hardbound 8x8 children's book, and it's stitched. So the binding is stitched. Okay, many times when a person wants to cut corners on a book, or they're trying to find a publisher who is a deal, they will glue in the pages. And if you are a book person, you know how annoying that is to open up your book and the pages fall out. I don't know if you guys remember H.R. Giger, who did Alien, but I have a book by him that I actually had rebound because that's exactly what they did. They did a big book like this, and they charged like $60 for the thing, and then all the pages fell out. Just made me nuts. So I had it rebound. So this is a sewn binding, and it's made in the USA. You heard me right. It's made in the USA. So the trifecta is here. Hardbound, stitched binding, and made in the USA. Whoop, whoop. Something that I was hoping we could do. And Lynette, the author, made this happen with an amazing publisher out where she is in Indiana. So this is the cool thing, guys, that we've done. Because if you've got any of my art pieces, you know that this integrity still applies to the book, and Lynette is no different. Lynette and I have been friends for 20, 30 years. We've been friends for so long, and we're sisters, so who counts? But that friend that when you first meet them, it's going to be a lifelong friendship because there's a spark, a zing, a joy, and we are so close. I helped her deliver 2 of her children. So we're not just a couple of people who decided to joint venture, as it's called. We have been wanting, she paints a lot of the figures that you have purchased. So we are very, very tight, but she is in Indiana and I'm in California. So one of the things that I'm thinking might work is that if we are trying to get both signatures in the book, which is what we eventually want you to have, is both signatures in the book. But we're thinking about book plates. So how do you feel about book plates? Let me know in the comments how you feel about them. Because I can design a book plate with Lynette, and then you have that piece of art as well. And then you'll have both our signatures. Because I can send a stack to her. She can sign them. I can have a stack. I can sign them, and they'll both be in the book. Okay, for those of you and then if you're buying it at the location, you can always ask me to sign it by our names as well. That's fine too. But so we want to work with you, but all of them are signed, at least by me. When you buy through my store, I'm going to sign them, but I'm looking so that you can have Lynette's signature as well. So let me know what you think about that. Okay. Because this would be super, super cool. And the book, like I said, absolutely delicious, yummy, and gorgeous. She's worked very hard on the colors. I worked very hard on the drawings, and this little story is very charming. So there you go. There you go. $18 pre-sale. If you buy or want to buy more than 3, I want you to message me, okay? Because like 5, I think if you want to buy 5 or more and they make great gifts, I'll cut you a little break, okay? Absolutely, I will. And then if you're someone who has, think about this, guys, if you have a club or organization that wants to offer the book, perhaps have me speak or whatever, and you want to offer the book, then you can agree to buy a few at a wholesale price, which we can discuss, and then you sell it for the retail price, and we both make money. See? So, you know, I do this a lot with my books. Okay. I did do another book that was a softcover book. And that's one of the reasons I'm doing hardcover now, because all of you said hardcover, hardcover, hardcover. And my tribe people were the same way. Hardcover, hardcover, hardcover. So let me wrap it all up again. TerriHarden.com, click on online store. If you're on your computer, tap above my head, shop now. If you're on your phone, go to desktop mode and you can order it right away. If that's still a challenge for you, and it sounds like that would be a challenge for me, don't panic. As soon as I'm finished with the broadcast today, I will go in and make sure it's on the front. I really thought it was, and it didn't show. So thank you to Tribe for doing that. And if you want to be a part of the Tribe and be a part of the saving me and helping each other and being positive, I urge you to come and be a part of it. Okay. All righty. How exciting is that? This book took, as usual, a lot, like my Hitchhiking Ghosts I've said before, it took a lot of blood and bone to create it. Lynette had each and every drawing spread out on her table, and she hand painted every single one that goes in the book. Okay. And then she made sure that it was stitched and it was hardcover and then made in the USA. And let me tell you about the company that we have that is actually creating this book. They create the Library of Congress books. So those of you who are authors out there, and if you're not, when you write a book, you are asked to send one to the Library of Congress. Library of Congress must be huge, right? Like a whole state or something. Every book goes in there. Wow. But anyway, so the Library of Congress has only 4 companies that make these books, bound so that every book looks alike, but they have a number on the back, but they're rebound. So even if they're a book where the pages fall out, they're rebound so that they're top quality, and they're filed in the Library of Congress. So that's how they keep track of them. Okay. And that person, that group that is printing and putting together our books is one of those 4 companies in the USA. So guys, it's not that I don't love China, but I really think that the USA, I really would love the USA to take back some of their own manufacturing, and hopefully at some point bring it to a price point where we're happy to say that we're also back in the building and designing and creating. However, you've got the space program that is off the chain, and they are really kicking butt and taking names. So I think this is a dream of so many Americans here that they want to see things like that. I mean, you got so many people creating things right here and doing it right here that it just makes your heart. And then they're also doing it internationally. So the United Federation of Planets doesn't seem so science fiction-y anymore, does it? Really would be cool if we had something like that. If we could all get along and get together and support each other and create beautiful things. Just imagine what you could do. So I'm very proud of this book. Lynette has been my dear friend for a long time. We've been dying to do something like this, and we finally got to do it. So I really encourage you to grab yourself at least 1 copy. Please buy it pre-sale because you're going to save some money. The pre-sale will go on until my first appearance at least. But I mean, when the books are available, there's no reason for pre-sale, right? Because you get it shipped to you. So the pre-sale just helps me to better understand, helps us, both Lynette and I, to better understand how many of you out there want it. But it is my first with all my original drawings inside and her watercolor and her story. First children's book that we've published. Very first one. The first. So grab that first printing. Okay? I would love it if you did. Think about Christmas. Think about Halloween, and think about the fact that I've been a judge on Outrageous Pumpkins. So I would love it if you pre-ordered it. And there you go. Okay, so let's get to our Ask Me Anything. Feel free to ask me anything. You can ask me about the book. You can test the site and tell me what's working, what's not working. But again, I will make sure that once I'm off of here broadcasting, I get that book to the page, to the front of the page. I thought it was there. Never a dull moment. What does this mean to you? Is that it's better to just kind of go with things, have a grain of salt. You know what I mean? Take a big grain of salt and cut yourself some slack. And understand that you are what you are. I mean, I can sculpt circles. I mean, I can sculpt anything. I'm one of the best. And it's not just me bragging. It's for real. Okay. Any size, pretty much just about any material I can do. But when it comes to technology, yeah, well, I'm doing it, but it takes, it takes real, like how many out there of you do math? Those of you that are rock stars at math, I love you. But I hire people like you because my math is, and that's Lynette. She's very good at math. Man, she just, that artist who numbers is one of the things that they really excel in. And they can just tell you like this, and you just are in awe of them. So there are people in awe of me because of what I create, but there's also people out there like Lynette who creates a lot of cosplay stuff, and she's done Jurassic Park and she did Species, and she's an amazing suit performer. So we've got very parallel things that we've done, movies we've done. So that's what's exciting, is you've got a couple of people who have been in the industry for a long, long time and done some pretty choice portfolio stuff. So if you have a question about that, feel free to ask anything you want. Okay. All right, here we go. Nate, good morning. Now, Nate is one of the tribe. And I've asked my tribe guys to reach out to all of you and tell people that they think might be happy in the tribe and doing well, because we help each other. There are a lot of brilliant people in the tribe with very strong voice, and they're not me. Okay. So for $5 a month, $60 a year, you get a lot of content. And one of the tribe members yesterday said to me that it's so much more content that she is getting, and she's paying other patrons on their page almost twice the price. So I'm one of those people that wants to over deliver, and that's because I care about you, and I benefit too from you, not just the money. The money is lovely, but that's just to keep me showing up. Okay. But what's really amazing is the support you give me as human beings. And so we do that with each other, human beings. So I highly recommend patreon.com/Terri Hardin, or just put in Terri Hardin. So Nate says, so unfortunately, Reading Rainbow is no longer on the air, but there are more than likely other children's shows. Yes, I thought it was a great idea, Nate. And I have a few of my own, believe me. But you keep thinking, and I really appreciate it. And this is what I mean. Nate was saying, if there's a reading, and there's a lot of online, virtual readings. So that's something that Lynette and I can think about and create. So stay tuned, because we might just do that. Great idea, Nate. You're a rock star. Hello, Deanna. Oh, thank you, Deanna, for saying that. And Deanna is also part of Terri's tribe. So we help, when you're sad, we walk you through it and we talk to you. And the reason it's so lovely is because it's private. It's a private group. So we get together and talk about things that we might not be able to talk about in public. Things that people need to get out and they don't want to be judged, and we don't do it there. And then if you have art, if you're interested in art, if you have something you want to share because you are involved with, I say everyone is an artist. What I mean is an artist. The definition of an artist is someone who's passionate about what they do. So I have an accountant that's an artist. She's amazing. She can do numbers in her head up to gazillions. And I've never seen anything like it. And she's my bookkeeper because I'm not stupid. I like to hire artists, and she's an artist. Wouldn't you say? It's like magic. To me, it's like magic. Okay. If you clean and you're super amazing at it, it's something you love and you really go for it, then you're an artist. I mean, because I clean like I got something else to do. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, it's close enough. Okay, that's me. So my husband does most of it because he wants to just that step over. But neither of us are artists when it comes to cleaning because we're not passionate about it. But if you're passionate about your cleaning, then you're an artist. Okay? Please think of yourself this way because this is absolutely true. When you bring 110% to your passion, you're an artist. So I want you to understand that. And Lynette Eklund is a writer, and we both were very passionate about this book, and I think you can see it in the art. So, so I highly encourage you to check it out and see what it's like. And we're going to show you it one more time. Here it is. Here, 8 by 8, 8 inches by 8 inches, and colorful, beautiful, lovely. Yes. And we're going to be working to tour. So we're hoping to have them at the Disney and Fiend Club event on September 12th. That's a show and sale in Anaheim at the Anaheim Hilton, or Hilton. What is it? Doubletree by Hilton, Anaheim Garden Grove, I think is the actual hotel. And then I'm going to be doing Toon Fest in Marceline, which is, as you know, is in Kansas. In Missouri. So we're landing in Kansas City, and I'm being driven up to Missouri, which is where Walt Disney grew up. And I'll have the books there for that because it's all about pumpkins. And then I'm going to be in Indiana. We're going to do something else that's all about pumpkins. So it's about pumpkins. You know that I have been the judge on Outrageous Pumpkins. And you also know that I sculpt pumpkins. So this is our wheelhouse. This is a time to have the very first book that both of us have created. It's going to be a gorgeous addition to your collection. $18. So please, TerriHarden.com, online store, shop now, grab it. And I appreciate that. Thank you very much. For those of you who may have issues navigating to it right now, here's the direct link to the book. And this is another reason I love the tribe. Nate, on his own, decided to do this. So here you go. You click on this direct link. It's going to take you directly to the book. No waiting. You don't have to look at my pretty face. You don't have to look at other things. You can just get to the book. Okay. But I wanted to make it easier for you, but like Nate says, this is really easy, So there it is. And Nate will probably, he's posted it in the comments. So you guys can have it. And rock star, just a rock star, just super, super special. Hello, Angie. This will be my last week of enjoying both streams live as I return to the office on Monday. Don't be sad because you can always come back later, but we're going to miss your beautiful voice. So please comment on it, even if it's not live, Angie, because your voice has become very, very much appreciated and loved on this channel. And I love seeing you every week. So please continue to let us know your presence, even if you're watching it after it's live. And when you can pop in. We'll love to see you, of course, even if you're just listening. We really, Angie is a staple around here. Yes, Angie. Angie asks, are you in the area where mask mandates are back? Yo, baby. Yeah. As of Saturday, tomorrow, anytime we are indoors, vaccinated or not, we have to wear a mask. Now, what does this mean? Okay. I read an AARP article and I love AARP. You know, when I was a kid, I couldn't wait to be 50 years old so I could join AARP. My mother thought I was totally nuts because she's like, AARP means you're 50. Well, yeah. Okay. But I feel a little differently about age than many people do. I'm very happy to get older. I get wiser. So I'm very fortunate for that. And I hope you will look at it that way. Don't look at it as a curse, look at it as a blessing. And I'm so happy to be 64. I can't wait to see what beautiful things unfold to me at 64. But I went to AARP and read an article, and it basically just said, we don't know. The bottom line is, we don't know. 1 minute they're telling you that it's very rare that you could be a carrier if you're vaccinated. And the next minute they're saying, well, maybe after all, 95% protection isn't 100. So I say, we've been wearing a mask for a year. Why not just wear it a little longer? And what I usually do when I'm going into an area where everybody is inside all together, I do what's called the mask dance, which is, and I look at someone in authority and go, well, now I won't have to do the mask dance now because everyone inside has to be masked up because California's numbers are rising. As other states, they're rising, and they're rising against the unvaccinated. And it's very, very frightening. So I may have mentioned I went to see my mother for the first time since the lockdown. I hadn't seen her since before the lockdown because I thought I was sick with COVID in February. And the doctor told me, no one in LA was sick with it. And I kind of feel like I was. My husband and I did. We don't know if we were. But it was a weird feel that the illness, whatever we had, was weird. So I stayed away from my parents who were in their 80s. And then in March, the lockdown happened. My mom is in a convalescent hospital. First time, got to see her Wednesday. And it was lovely. It was really lovely. And it's interesting because it is one of the best, I feel, convalescent hospitals in the world. I don't know other convalescent hospitals, but I walked in and you have a touchless temperature that you have to have taken. Then you sign in with the receptionist. She actually checks your name off. You don't touch anything. And then they give you a COVID test that happens that fast. The results are that fast. Once you show that you don't have it, then you wear an N95 mask and you get to go up and visit your relative. Now, my mother hasn't walked in over 4 years, so she does not get out of bed, and she has 2 roommates who are in their 90s. So I had to completely stay in my mask while visiting with her for only 40 minutes because I have to protect them and her. Okay. Now, the woman who walked me and escorted me to my mother's room didn't really specify if the roommates had been vaccinated, but this is a policy of theirs. And I really appreciated their extra care in keeping my mother safe. My mother was in the safest place she could possibly be. So I was so excited about this. So yes, the mask mandates are back while you're indoors, and we will honor them. Why? Because my husband is a high-risk person. Both of us have been vaccinated, but we have err on the side of caution, guys, is my motto. If you're outside, no problem, because you're outside. And that's what we're told. We can probably, don't worry, you can wear, don't wear your mask when you're outside, but inside, do us a favor. Yeah. Okay. So, because stuff is getting crazy here. We are doubling again. Unfortunately, it's amongst unvaccinated people. So please get vaccinated. If there's that little slightest chance that I could be carrying it, even though I'm vaccinated, I don't want that to happen. Okay. I don't care how small it is. I don't want that to happen. I do not want to be responsible for you getting sick. Okay, so that's my feeling, and I welcome yours. But thank you for that question, Angie. Hello, Terry. Hope everyone had a happy Friday. Has a happy Friday. Oh, it's happy. You know, tomorrow's Disneyland's birthday, so most people are getting excited because they're going. I'm not, but they are. I'm staying here. So I got to find out, because tomorrow, I don't know. I was thinking there might be a bingo game. I'm not sure there's a bingo game tomorrow because everyone might be going to the birthday. And that's fine with me. If they, I understand how important it is. I won't be there, but I am excited to live vicariously through all of you. Please tag me on your photos and share with me. This is 1 year I just didn't want to take your ticket from you. Can you imagine? You must go. You are one of the Disney people who has never missed a birthday party since birth. And now you can't get in because someone in there is there and they really don't have to be there. And that would be me. It would be my fault. So I don't want it to be my fault. So I will, I want you guys to be able to go. I know how important it is when you have these traditions, I'm telling you a lot about my friend and author, Lynette Eklund. The both of us thought, I think we thought in the back of our minds long ago when we were, a bit younger, that we could go to this guy's house. He had offered to cook Thanksgiving dinner for us. He was a very sweet fella. I can't even remember his name. But he offered to cook a Thanksgiving dinner. And when the Thanksgiving dinner was done, so you had turkey, you had potatoes, you had the whole thing, right? But at the end, he had chocolate cream pie. I don't even know if Lynette remembers this, but he had chocolate cream pie. And we drove home. We drove to his house together. And from his, we were twitchy. It didn't feel like the end of Thanksgiving until we had pumpkin pie. And it was hilarious. We both looked at each other and kind of giggled because we were like, hey, it shouldn't matter that much. But it really did. We were kind of like, so traditions, we can't disappear with their traditions. Traditions are traditions, and they mean something. They're grounded in your soul, in your blood, in your bone. So, hey, I get it. So that's why. Angie says, what's a book plate? A book plate, boy, I wish I could show you. That is a very good question. Let me I'll tell you what, I will get a piece of paper and I will show you. Okay, Angie, thank you for the question. Okay, so here we are, piece of paper, all right? Let's say that this is the book and the plate is a sticker, adhesive on the back so that it sticks down. And it's really beautiful. I wish I had some. I can't remember. And Angie, next week if I do it. But anyway, it's about yay big. It's about this big. Let's shed a little more light on this so you can see it. There. So it's about yay big, about like that, right? And then it has really pretty artsy stuff kind of framing it around like this. So you have like, happy smiling characters here, or maybe down here we have one of our amazing little pumpkins here, right? With the little doodad there. Right. And then it goes like this. And so we, Lynette and I might design something that has leaves or whatever. And then right in the middle, it will have some very nice writing that says, for example, giggling pumpkins. And then it will say bye. And then it'll have, and then it'll have the author, which is Lynette. It'll have the illustrators, which is the both of us. And then the person signs it right here. Then you can take this plate and put it and moisten the back and stick it like a stamp in your book, and you have the autograph. Many authors will do this because they can't necessarily be everywhere. So the person selling the book has these book plates, and they can be true to the signature. But they're really beautiful. So many book plates that are so, so beautiful. And if I come across a set, I have a set of book plates somewhere that I use if somebody says, I got your book, but I didn't get your signature. Then I'll sign the book plate and I'll send the book plate. And then they can just stick it right in the book. So that's a book plate. And that is a very good question. And thank you for allowing me to do a quick little drawing there, Angie. That was very sweet of you. Lynette is here. So excited. We're going to get the proof next week. So this is Lynette Excellent present here, guys. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Exciting thing, huh? And we're looking, the proof is like a gift because you've worked so hard. And understand, Lynette and I worked on this during the pandemic, which means we could not be together, which is a serious drag. Okay. I'm just going to tell you, those of you who remember the serious drag of not getting to be with people, just think of this one for us. Okay. We always get together at least once a year and talk about whatever, create, but we just need that connection because she moved her family back to Indiana so that her kids could have a large area in which to grow, play, and exist. 30 some odd acres, 35 acres. Okay. She has a farm. It's beautiful. She had a corn maze for a while. It was really fun that I used to go and teach, and she used to scare people to death. And now that's no more, but it went for a long time, and people came from all over to be in one of the scariest corn mazes, So we're very much about Halloween. We love Halloween, and if you love Halloween, this book is going to be for you. But I did my drawings at my home in California and then shipped them to her, where she colored them and arranged them and put the book together, what we call a mock-up book for the publisher, so that the publisher knew how she wanted it. And then she oversaw the whole, making sure that it was stitched. Lynette made sure that it was hardcover. She made sure the pictures were real good quality. So while I have her here, I'm going to say to you that one of the things that we toyed with was putting it on Amazon. I mean, many of you who maybe have not written a book or plan on writing a book may say to yourself, hey man, just put it on Amazon and you'll make a mint. But the reality of it is that Amazon said that we would have to fulfill it ourselves, meaning we would have to do our shipping ourselves. And then we would pay them a cut. Of course we would, because they're such a big platform, right? But if they do it for you, like print on demand, we looked at the examples and they were not to our standards. They were substandard. So we said, no, we want to reach out to you to get you the best quality possible, because this is what we're about. So we are doing this pre-sale at $18, saving you a good amount. It's not $2. It's about $5. Now you got to do tax and shipping, but hey, and we're not saying put in a code word. We're not saying put in a coupon. We're saying just go and pre-order it. And if you order more than 5, reach out to me, okay? And we'll work something out, okay? If you want to have 10 or you want to have, and like I said, if you're a club and you want to order 25 or 50 and then make the difference up, we'll talk, okay? This is a beautiful book and it's gorgeous and it's our first. So hey now. Like she said, we're very excited to see our first hot off the press book and make sure it's beautiful and wonderful. And like I said, I wished it was here so I could hold it up and show it to you, but I'm not waiting because our deadline is tight. And I really, really want to see if I can have it at the Disneyland show and sale, because I'm eager to see you all in Anaheim. Those of you who can make that. I hope you'll come and see me and say hello and pick up your book. So order it pre-sale and then you pick it up at the Disneyland show and sale in Anaheim, and then you swing out and have a fun time at Disneyland or Downtown Disney, or you do your Disney. You know what to do. I don't need to tell you. You know what you do. Yeah, you know what you do. Yeah. Paul, how are you, my friend? Now, Paul is someone that might just do that. Paul is very active in a few organizations and clubs and stuff. He may reach out to me and say, hey, Terry, I'd like to buy a few. And then he helps his club or group to profit by, we both make some money off of it. I mean, it's more fun when you share, isn't it? I mean, I don't know how you feel, but that's what I like. And the Carolwood Society took my little soft cover first book out at the barn at Griffith Park. And we did just this so we could both make a couple of bucks, And I think this book is going to do better, because for one thing, I'm going to be, who knows, Carol Wood would say, hey, Terry, come out to the barn and sculpt a pumpkin. And while I'm sculpting a pumpkin, you can buy the book and watch me demo a pumpkin. Okay? So it's like, whoa, right? And for those of you who are saying to yourself, what are you talking about? Let me just show you some of the fun and exciting pumpkins that I sculpt. And then I'll show you, because I have a very dear friend who sculpts people's, you know how they scrape the skin off and they do people's portraits? And he's really cute. Mark Maniac, you may have seen his work. He's quite brilliant. And so I decided to try Mark's technique. Okay, so here are some. Now, now I mentioned before that I am starting to get onto TikTok. It's a process, me and technology again. But one of the things I showed was this pumpkin. This is my Cheshire Cat. So I'm going to teach a class on this the 30th in Anaheim in October. And I'll have the book there too. I'm speaking positively. But this is the kind of pumpkin art that I do. And it's wild and it's crazy. And I teach students. My students are very good at it. And this is one of my painted ones. Toon Fest. I'm going to be at Toon Fest on September 18th with Joseph Yakovetic, and he is responsible for asking me to paint my pumpkin. I think, yeah, here it is unpainted, and you can see it's a little bit hard to see, but once you paint it, it's quite interesting. Yeah, I really like, honestly, I tend to like pumpkins to be in their natural state. So I'm not really about painting them. And then I'll show you, I also do one that's weird. So anything is possible with a pumpkin, but this is what I do. I've been featured in a lot of pumpkin books. And now this sweet little children's story kind of rounds it out. Besides me judging Outrageous Pumpkins since 2005, things like that. So a lot of reasons to grab this cute little book. And let me show you the ones I told you about that Mark kind of encouraged me to do. I had never done, and I found that to be really super fun. Now, the thing that's really interesting about doing it Mark's way is that when I saw Mark's website, I asked him, because he's always sculpting in the dark. So he's scraping the images. I'll show you in a minute. He's scraping the images in the dark. And I'm like, what does it look like when the lights are on? And he kept not showing me. Here's why. Okay. I'm going to, you're seeing it here first. Here's why. Okay, so here's my first attempt of doing this sculpture that Mark told me to do, which is you scrape away bits of the pumpkin, allowing the light to come in different levels to create various colors and depth. This is different from sculpting a face like, say, a Ray Villafane or many of the people that you see on Outrageous Pumpkins who do their bit, which is they're so talented and so good. Anyway. So I looked at this and I said, whoa, man, this is ugly. No, I really said that. But as Mark will tell you, au contraire, mon ami, here's what happens when they're lit. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that darling? So this is why Mark mostly shows you in the dark, because if you saw stuff like this, you go, that doesn't look very good. But I'm going to show you both because I love you and I'm a truth teller. Not that Mark isn't, okay? This is not dissing anyone. This is to let you know that if you do this technique and it looks like this, don't throw it in the trash, light her up, okay? That's the point of this, okay? Light them up. Look how amazing that looks. I mean, and I'm amazed because I get people who sculpt pumpkins in my class and they hate them before they put a light inside. And then they love them because they're amazed that they can do it. Don't be amazed that you can do it, because you can do it. I teach to do it. So you can do it. You're going to love this. You're going to love this class. But that's where this pumpkin book, kind of, we started to talk about pumpkins and Lynette had the corn maze and I'm sculpting pumpkins. And we just kind of, here's the story in her head. And then I was happy to illustrate it. So it's very, very cool. And Let me just, last year I taught virtually. This year I get to teach live, and I'm planning on doing virtual. But now let me show you some of the work that I did last year for the pandemic. We actually did have trick-or-treating during the pandemic. And I'll just kind of show you, because those of you who love Halloween, I'm looking to say this is why you want this book. So here are the sculptures that I did last year. You'll notice I did like a really crazy arm and sculpture. This is what I usually teach, is this style. But I loved Mark's work, so I wanted to see what Mark Maniac was doing. And so I did the little dog. And then I did, and this is our setup. Here's now a walkthrough. There is my pumpkin of Kung Fu Panda. And you can see right there what it looks like. And then I'm trying to show you better. I sculpted this head on the top of our guy. More movie. Oh, and that's one of my students sculpting. Okay. All right. So let's get back to down to business. I was trying to see. Oh, here we go. Here, this is the one I wanted to show you. So for the pandemic, we wanted people to be able, whoops, I just turned myself off. We wanted to be able for kids to be able, so this is a rain gutter coming from our big, tall, giant monster. And then we took sealed bags of microwave popcorn and we dropped them. The kids put their bag at the bottom, you know, this bottom right here, see it? Yeah, and the popcorn went right into their bag. We were 6 feet apart, contactless, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It was amazing. We had probably about 30 kids, and usually we have 300. But like I said, and I'll be sharing about the book with the neighborhood. I'm campaigning because I want to know how many of you want this book. So please exercise your specialness and go and purchase it for $18 because it's not going to get any less unless you do one of the things I said before. Okay. I'm a little late this morning, but what do you think about the news? Bday is going to be moved with a lot of people. I think that's crazy. Okay. This is a great question, Paul. So for those of you who don't know, Florida, let me just tell you my opinion. Florida's wanted to be the hub of everything for a long time. But Florida has land. And so they're looking to create what they're calling a campus. And I love the idea of a campus. I think that is great. Now, not all of Imagineering is going to be moving over there, as I understand. This is still very, very early news. But there will be people asked to relocate in certain divisions like product design and stuff. And to me, Florida is not a place I want to live. I like to visit it, and that's because I can choose when I visit it. But if you've ever been there during high humidity, no. Bugs as big as Buicks, no, not my thing. But the reality of it is that they can get land, a lot of it for a good price there. And so, you know, Walt wasn't, let's talk about Walt Disney. He wasn't stupid when he bought all that land up for Walt Disney World. You know, he saw the vision. So we're going to just have to see how it goes. But for being a person, an employee, this is one of the reasons I like being the come here, get away Imagineer. Because they'll bring me on when they want me, or they'll ask me. I have the right to say no. And they'll send me home when they don't. And that is perfect for me. But for you that wants to be an employee and you're okay with Florida, I mean, Joseph Yakovetic loves Florida. He can get a beautiful home working out there. And he has a great job and he's working for Disney and he's happy. And I'm happy for him because he's a brilliant artist. So there you go. It's something that you got to choose. But personally, I don't know if it's going to work the way they think. You know, only time will tell. Only time will tell. I'll bet you the facilities will be gorgeous though, because Disney, you know, Disney does it up nice. Yeah, they make it cool. So I'm hoping it's cool. But thank you for asking me about that. I just know that they want to be the hub, and they're not. Okay, Walt Disney World cannot decide for Disney what Disney fans and collectors like, because we're different on the West Coast than you are on the East Coast. And that's not saying we're better than you. Don't go there. Okay. We're not saying that. We're different. And over here, as a sculptor who sculpts for both parks, okay, both sides of the fence, sculpt for Florida and sculpt for Anaheim. Anaheim, the people of the West Coast want the characters on model. They're not really as flexible as Florida is when it comes to playing with the character's look and design. Okay. This is what I've noticed. I got a lot more freedom in Florida than I do here in Anaheim. I'm always on model. Okay. It's just the way it is. Now, everyone likes on model. Yay. If you're a sculptor and you want to really nail it, do them on model. Okay. But you're going to have more freedom here in Florida than you do in Anaheim, because they really don't like you missing. Like the color, I always mention the characters that they do that's kind of a three-dimensional silhouette of the character, and then they splash it with all kinds of rainbow colors. They really sell in Walt Disney World, but in Disneyland. Okay. So my point is, Walt Disney World may want to be the hub, but you really need a West Coast and an East Coast when it comes to product design. It's just smarter, you know. And when in doubt, guess what you really do? You ask your collectors. That's you guys. Ask you guys. What do you think about you guys? Ask you. This is what I do. I can't know every character. I can't love every character. You guys come up with characters that I have to ask, what character is that? You know? And then if I'm going to make it for you, or I'm going to make it for a group of you, I want to talk to you about what you love about that character, because that sprinkles its pixie dust all over me and I create a nice character. The best example of this is Mickey Mouse, because I'm not a big mouse person. I'm not a mouse. Right? But I talk to people who love Mickey Mouse, and that's how I'm able to create some really nice Mickey Mouse pieces. I mean, seriously, it's not because I am this all-knowing genius sculptor. I'm accurate. Okay. I'm very accurate, but the way that the magic happens, I'm letting you know, as an artist, you can be absolutely magical if you ask your Disney collectors what is it they want and what is missing in their collection, and tell me about the character that you love. Okay. So I don't know if I've mentioned to you that I met the voice of Bambi. He's lovely, but I'm very passionate about Bambi. I love Bambi. It's one of my favorite movies ever since I was a little kid. And I told him, you're sitting behind a desk and people are asking for your autographed picture. You don't tell them what you didn't like about shooting Bambi, because you're dissing a Disney family. Okay. There obviously was something you loved. So talk about what you love. And he did. And everybody loved to hear about it. He talked about how he, as a little boy, was one of the few people that got to actually pet all the deer. You remember the animated picture where the animators are drawing the deer? Well, apparently they weren't allowed to interact with the deer like he was. What a great opportunity at 7. You know, super awesome. So we love to hear that stuff. We love that stuff. We love those stories. And and I'm talking as a fan right now, right? So that's one of the reasons that, you know, you want to make sure that you ask people. Okay. But I have this other facet of me, as many artists do, where I sculpt and create pumpkin art. And I've been a judge on Outrageous Pumpkins. It was Extreme Pumpkins, or I think it was Outrageous Pumpkins still, back in 2005, where I was judging Ray Villafaine's work. So you know him. If you don't, Google him. He does great work. But there's others out there that are so amazing. Now, Ray, I won't say Ray was an enigma, but he had more of a social presence. And so when people were looking for someone to do these supercalifragilisticpumpkins, they went to Ray Villafaine. But since then, it's been 2005, like around 2005, 2004. Okay. But now it's 2021, guys. And we have got some killer pumpkin sculptors now. All kinds of pumpkins, all kinds of different styles and techniques, and just killer great. So to work with these people or to judge these people, I see them on Outrageous Pumpkins last year. If you saw that show, you know that you saw Griffin, who Griffin did that beautiful pumpkin that's kind of like the dog I showed you. Griffin did this beautiful pumpkin, and Griffin is a chainsaw carver, and she's super amazing. I mean, you know, she's a woman with a chainsaw, and she does some killer work, and she's not only she's just a cool nature girl, and her work is amazing. So there are people out there that'll just blow the doors off of your head because they're so good. So that takes us back to our, you know, hey now. It takes us back to, whoop, I'm going the wrong direction. Forgive me. I'm trying to find myself. Takes us back to the pumpkin book. There it is. Yay. So there you go. Yes, Paul. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that if they do this, they still need somebody who knows Disney collectors and someone who knows Disney collectors on the West Coast. You got to have each coast. You know, that's what I feel. You are missing some wonderful magic if you are not part of the tribe. Thank you, Nate. Thank you for saying that. He's right. You know, and Paul, I'd love for you to join because your voice would be really great in that venue. But it's a lot of fun, and thank you for that. We'll be sharing a link, the pre-sale in the group. Oh, thank you. See, Nate's a rock star. Nate Singleton brings to the tribe his Disney knowledge. He has some amazing Disney knowledge when it comes to collectibles. So people will ask Nate in the tribe about the value of some of the things because he's really got a wide knowledge of Disney stuff. So he's a great source. DFC event will be at the DoubleTree by Hilton, Anaheim, Orange County in Santa Ana. Phew, a mouthful. And phew, you are so right. And September 11th and 12th. Isn't that right, Paul? Yes. And I'll be there. Yes. I'm excited to see people in person. Will we be masked up at the time? So what if we are? Get ready, do a cool mask, and wear it at the event. Yeah. I've got a really cool one that was made for me by a wonderful woman, Cindy, and it's gorgeous. It's Nightmare Before Christmas, and it's little Jack Skellingtons all over it, and I get all kinds of compliments on it. It's super cute. And I get sad when I have to change it for the N19 or the really supercalifragic white dull one, you know. But when I go see my mother, I have to have the white dull one. So, but anyway, that's so true. Oops, Orange County, not Santa Ana. Orange County, I knew. Yeah. Google it. Just get that DoubleTree by Hilton, Anaheim, and the rest follows. Just so you know. But hopefully they'll have a lot of space because one of the things that people love to do when they're there is not only shop but chat. Get you know, the Disneyana fan club has a lot of people that you have stood in line and not gotten in to see at D23. Just so you know. And they can be roaming the halls too. Tony Baxter, I remember, always likes to go, and I'll bet you if he's in town, Dollars to Donuts, he's going to wander because we all miss seeing our Disney buddies. Yeah, our Disney, we're missing that Disney love, and you know that to get into Disneyland, it's a price, Ugati. So you can go to this one for a much reasonable price, be with all the happy people, and get that Disney vibe too. Can you ride the rides? No, but you can have that experience, and you're going to love it. So I highly recommend the Disneyana fan club. I do. Melissa says, I never stopped wearing one inside. Yes, masks. Agreed. I don't either. And this is because I wore it for the whole time. When in doubt, wear it. That's what I say. And I spoke to several frontline responders, nurses and things who said, yeah, when in doubt, just wear it. Don't, when in doubt, if you have any reason to doubt, then wear it. And that's what I do. And that's what I said at my mom's convalescent hospital. They said, when we're in doubt, we wear them, and inside my mom's convalescent hospital, it's mandatory, yeah. So they don't have a choice, but they're fine with that. Yeah. Good morning. Happy Friday, Ava. So the signature on the book plate is real, not a print. Absolutely, it's real. And that's the idea, because sometimes an author, let's say that you wanted Dick Van Dyke's signature. Let's use Dick Van Dyke. Okay. Dick Van Dyke is in his 90s. He is as spry as a spring chicken. That's not the situation, but can be a very, very busy person. So you could easily send him an envelope with a book plate inside and say, dear Dick Van Dyke, I bought your book at, such and such bookstore or off your website or whatever. Usually if it's off the website, he's going to sign it anyway. But I bought your book at Amazon and I noticed it's not signed. Wondering, I've enclosed a book plate. Would you mind signing it? And if there's a cost for your signature, let me know, and you can send the book plate. Dick Van Dyke will sign it and then send it back. And many authors do that. Many authors will sign the book plate because they're in areas where they might not be able to be live and in person, and not everybody can see you live and in person. So that's a great way to get signatures, real signatures in your book. They are acknowledged by books, and they're, it's the real deal. And if you're nervous about it, Angie, just ask us to take a picture while we're signing. And we'll get somebody like my husband. Like if you sent me a book, like let's say I have a book plate, I'll sit there and go and sign it. So you see that I'm actually signing it. So you don't get a print, but it's an actual signing. And if you want a little note like "Love you, Angie, Rockstar," then I would do that too. Are you a fan of any old school anime? One of my favorite franchises is Lupin the Third. Shelby, I love Lupin. But when I was 16, I got to meet Dr. Osamu Tezuka. Do you know that name? He is the father of anime, and I am a super fan. And at 16, I got to meet this great man, and I have an original sketch by him in my room. I also have 2 books where he illustrated inside 2 of my favorite stories, Phoenix 2772 and Dororo. Yeah. If you remind me, I will pull the books and show you guys on Monday, if I can do it. Yeah. They're beautiful. And the Japanese said I was very fortunate that he drew in my book, because he doesn't always do that. But we became good friends. He did Kimba the White Lion, Astro Boy are more known of his stuff. But yeah, I have a lot of comic books by him because he's my big hero. And he is also responsible for introducing me to Miyazaki before he was the Miyazaki, and we all went to eat sushi, and Miyazaki was drawing Totoro at the time. So yeah. Blessed life. A blessed life. Yeah, I'm very grateful. I've had some opportunities and the good sense to walk through the door, even if I don't know what's on the other end. I just go through it and say, I got this. And I want to encourage you all to do that. If it sounds good and you're not sure how you're going to do it, just go through it and figure it out after, because you can do it. You can absolutely do it. And it makes your life really full. And boy, mine has been crazy. If you Google my name, you'll see it just goes, it's nuts. My Wikipedia page, which just touches on stuff. But I have a Wikipedia page for years. I didn't even know I had that. Had people like you tell me too. So thank you for the question, Shelby, but absolutely. Lupin came to me way back when it was animated, and there's a character in Lupin that is called Samurai that I absolutely adore, animated. There's a scene in Lupin where Samurai is hiding in one of those big tunnels, and a helicopter goes in the tunnel, and then they show Samurai wanting to go, and he leaps up and slices the helicopter in half. Now, I'm not one of these people that goes, that would never happen in real life. I don't care. I don't care. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger holding a giant gun and shooting it, or carrying a tree. I'm there because the man can do it. I know he can do it. I'm not looking at it going, well, I wonder if it's a fiberglass tree, or I don't care. He looks like someone who could hold that weapon, and it's great to see him hold something people use 2 hands with one hand. That just looks incredible to me. So I love that kind of stuff. I just don't worry about reality. It's a movie. If I want reality, I watch documentaries, and I watch a lot of documentaries. But I don't look at a movie and say that couldn't happen, because it's a movie. It is the art the dream of the director, producer, and those people that are together there creating their vision. And it's fun. Well, hopefully. Sometimes it's not our vision, is it? But most of the time, yeah. So I don't worry that this could never happen. I don't want to go there. I don't care. We were watching Terminator at some point. My husband and I were watching Terminator, and he started saying, if you really think about this can't. No. Because I want to live that fantasy. Yeah, that's me. Movies are should be for escape, not too much reality. Because you get too much reality of angst, of anger, of hurt, of pain, people fighting, and all the stuff you see in real life, and it's like, bleh, who wants to see that? Well, maybe some of you do, but things that if you really think about it probably won't happen, but you like to see that maybe they would. Yeah. What are your plans for this weekend? There is a possibility we may be going to a funeral. And I remember someone saying on the tribe that that's kind of what they've been doing a lot lately is funerals, and haven't we all? And if that doesn't happen, then I'm gearing up for, wait for it, a garage sale. That's it. If you live in Southern California and you love garage sales, have I got the garage sale for you. On the 24th of this month, 50 families in the Magnolia Park area, that's near Burbank, are doing garage sales. So if you want that vein of garage sale fabulousness, Saturday the 24th, and I'm a part of it. Yep. So Saturday I got to gather all that stuff, and I got to talk because I got 2 other people coming to drop off their stuff here too. So because one person, they can't have garage sales in their community, they don't allow it, and the other person is my dad. So my dad is actually excited about getting rid of some stuff in the living room. Yay! This has been a while, so I won't go into it, but it's 8 to 12 noon. And chances are if you come afterwards, I might still be hanging around. I'm not sure, but it should be good. 50, the woman that organized it, I've never met, but she let us know yesterday that we had to pull our own permits because here where we live, we have to have a permit. She was going to pull the permits for us. But 50 households, she just said Burbank has asked everybody to pull their own. So I wrote to her and said I did, and I'm supposed to meet her on Wednesday. It's going to be great. What a great idea. I've been dying to have a garage sale for my friend who can't have one, and now it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, and I have a gate. You saw that gate. I can regulate people coming in if they get too close together, and I get a little concerned. I can just close the gate and say, wait, So, and I will. I'm not afraid to do that. So, nice thing. Oh, thank you, Nate. He posted the link. And everybody says, thank you, Nate. Yes. And I'm so excited. Thank you for being a part of the pre-sale and getting your discount for the book. Lynette and I both thank you and are really grateful. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Nate. And we will make sure that one way or another it's signed for you, okay? So, like I said, you are in what I call sort of a catbird position because you are over in the Indiana area and you can connect with Lynette. And so reach out to me and I'll reach out to her and she will actually, work to connect with you to get it signed if you want it signed live and not a book plate. Okay. I still have to run the book plate by Lynette, because I don't know how she feels about book plates, but I've done them so many times for people who, like, for example, Australia. Wouldn't I love to go to Australia? Not now, but wouldn't I love to go to Australia? I've been, I love it there. It's a beautiful country. But if they want to buy a set of the books and they want them signed, then I'll pull out the book plates because I want to make sure that they have both signatures. So no matter where you are, I'll get them to you one way or another. Have you ever thought of doing a book with all your pictures from your life? Yes. You have such an amazing picks with short stories that would New York Times bestseller for sure. Thank you, Angie. That's so sweet of you to say. So I did a book called Tales from Terry's A Disney Artist Life Volume 1. People like Paul will remember that, and Lent definitely remembers it. It was a paperback, and it was a thin volume. In fact, many people read it while standing in line to purchase it from me. True story. Now I want to work on a box set. It will be a 3-volume set that covers facets of my life and photos inside, Angie. And then the back one will have, once I start the production on it, once I start putting things together, I'm going to write to all of you and have you, if you own my book, ask you to say something. You know, if you want to say something nice about me, or you want to just say something about a story I've told or whatever. And that pamphlet will come in the box set. It'll have all of your thoughts and stuff printed in that. That will be the bonus that goes with the 3-book set. I was going to do it, full disclosure, I was going to do it this year. But then the U.S. Postal Service came out with Star Wars stamps, and I'm doing illustration cachets on those. And I'm going to offer them with my book on Star Wars. So that's coming out next year. I'm shooting for, wait for it, May the 4th. I bet you didn't see that coming. Yeah, May the 4th, we'll talk about my Star Wars story, which is why Terry saw it 183 times, and there was no such thing as VHS or tape machines, or there is only movie theater. So, yeah, why this amazing and crazy girl, and the full circle, meaning that I not only was blessed by George Lucas with that film, and it set my feet upon the path, but I actually got to do a little thing you may remember called Captain EO, where I got to sit with George Lucas and tell him what a great thing he had done for a young girl like me sitting in the audience. And I'm not alone, am I? Many of you out there have been inspired by those films, 4, 5, and 6, haven't you? Yeah, some of you even 1, 2, and 3, although I can't imagine why. But if those are your films, good for you. What is the ideal life for you? How would you like to live if anything you ask is possible? Right now, I'm living it. Okay, no lie. I am so fortunate to have the love of my life for my husband, an amazing dog, people like you out there as my friends, and a career that I dictate. I'm really blessed. I have not done a job that I didn't love since I started my career as a job person. It's the truth. I always did something fun, because my grandfather said, all people have to work for a living, but it's a wise man who plays for a living. And I took it to heart at 8 years old. So I've always done it. I've never had a job I didn't like. I may have worked with people I didn't like, and we're not going to talk about that. But I really did it. So what's left? What's the next goal? What's missing, I think, is what you're actually asking for someone like me. And I want to see Earth from space. I love watching the NASA channel because I get motion sickness. But watching Sir Richard Branson go up in his rubber chicken spaceship, and if you look underneath at the silhouette, it looks like a rubber chicken. It's really so cute. It looks like a rubber chicken. Anyway, which I think is cute. But the point is that he has announced, thank you, Leo Holzer. Leo Holzer sent me a link to enter a contest where I could get chosen by Sir Richard to go up in space and see Earth from space. Because otherwise, guys, it's $250,000 a ticket. And I don't know about you, but that's big bank, you know. That's why people like Tom Hanks and Lady Gaga are going. Is it any surprise? But still, that's pretty exciting. I'd love to see Earth from space. I wanted to be an astronaut when I was a kid, and I just get severely motion sick watching video games. So I knew this wasn't possible. And then when I was in Florida at, I think, the Kennedy Space Center, we had lunch with an astronaut. Thank you, Kendra Reed. And I met an amazing astronaut there named Story Musgrave. Story's amazing. He's one of the few pilots that has done more shuttle missions. He piloted more shuttle missions than most of the other astronauts. He's a real wonderful guy, very talented. And afterwards, we took pictures with him, and I spoke to him, and we found out we were both Imagineers. And he sat me down and said, you know, everybody gets motion sick. Get over it. You need to be in space. After talking with me, he said, just make it your mission to go in space. So hopefully before, you know, I keep imagining that it'll be like the airlines before I go, hopefully. And you look for a good price and you go up and you enjoy it, and it's a good experience, and you come back down. And I just won't eat that day. So I don't get sick. Because that would be very rude, right? But that's the big bucket list thing. And going to Africa. I would really like to go to Africa and sketch the animals. You know, just ride around and take pictures and sketch and sketch and sketch and sketch. I just found out about, I watched a documentary about a place in Africa where the penguins come, and they're an endangered penguin, and they come to roost, and everybody in that town loves the penguins. So you have to, they honor the penguins. They love the penguins and let the penguins be, you know, have right away and everything. And, you know, and it's really cool. It's really cool. I'd love to go sit there for a few months and just learn about the penguins, you know? So, so that's it. That's what I'd like to do. And then, have my husband retire and us travel. He's got a couple years left, but you know, he's the love of my life. He has my back. He's the air I breathe, and he's my heart. And when the pandemic hit, we pretended that we were retired, and it was just amazing. Honey, want some more iced tea? Yeah, baby, how about some more iced tea? Let's watch the sunset. Yeah. But I'm not someone who sits back on my heels and doesn't do anything. Created this book with my good friend Lynette, and then I am doing all kinds of stuff. Rolly Crump's chess set is getting ground broken. Nate Singleton, who you've seen here, I'm working on a private commission for him, and there's a lot of things in the works. Yesterday, a guy reached out to me to do possibly a church monument, and it's great. It's great. It's doing what I love. And then I'm learning new stuff too. Yeah, I'm learning new stuff. I'm improving my art. I've always said that I don't draw as well as I sculpt, because putting 3-dimension and 2 dimensions is challenging for me, right? So I just, when I was younger, just never did it, to be honest with you. Whoops. And so I'm taking a class because it was the pandemic. So I said, why not do some things that I haven't done before? And so I took this class, and my drawing improved. So my drawing was decent. You know, the picture up here I sketched, but it took rework. It didn't happen. But this teacher that teaches me now, I have to commit, because I draw straight ink. You don't get to do pencil first. This one I did pencil first, okay? But you don't get to, and then you darken the lines after. I mean, that's what I did with the book for Lynette too. I penciled out, and we penciled out the layout. She looked at it, and then I inked them, you know. But this guy, you go right to ink, and look at what I did. Check it out. This is like, whoa, man. I'm so proud of this. And he just answered me in the class and said he was very impressed with the light, because I did another drawing and he told me my light source was kind of all over the place. So to do more, but this is all watercolor. And I always worried about all these watercolors had to be mixed. I didn't use pure color. And I always use pure color because I used to get worried about muddiness. And he taught me how to make it not muddy, isn't it? Look at the depth on it. I'm so proud of it. I'm so excited about it. Yeah, I mean, and it was hard. I couldn't breathe. I got to tell you, I could not breathe. So, so there you go. What are the dates for this? The dates for the Disneyland Fan Club is September 11th and 12th. 12th is a show and sale. 11th, they are looking to do presentations between 1 and 3, they're saying right now. Still in development, but you can go to their page on Facebook and follow and join and follow along. And you'll get all the updates, or you can talk to us because we're all about it. I'm going to be there. So I think it should have been born out west. It's nice out here. I thank God they planted me here being mixed. Born in 1957. It would have been bad if I'd have been born somewhere else. And you know where I mean. Oh, thank you, Janice. I love you for that. Thank you so much. You're going to love it. You're going to really love it. I know you are. And I'm going to sign it with love. So that touches me. Thank you. Good morning. I love the merchandise much better in Disneyland than WDW, but from going to Tokyo for the past 15 years, I love their design and merchandise even more. Let's talk about Tokyo Disneyland, Joseph. Because Japan considers a trip to Disneyland an event. When I first went, they had some of the most beautiful sculptures I have ever seen. In fact, I actually took my sculptures over there and asked if I could sculpt for them, and they were going to prepare to do that. And then they realized that many Japanese like those little crackers. Did you notice that many of the merchandise there are those beautiful illustrated tins with crackers that are individually decorated and packaged? That's because someone Japanese has to bring something back for the family, and that's nicer and kinder on their budget. But I agree with you. There is some beautiful art over there, and I love that spot as well. So yes, indeed. No one does art like the Japanese. I got to tell you, they really pull out all the stops when it comes to some very creative and beautiful stuff. And I love seeing it. I love looking at it. I remember seeing a girl at Disneyland, and she had a Stitch popcorn bucket that was the cutest little thing. And she had turned it into a purse. And it was the cutest little purse. So, and I said, where'd you get that? She said, Tokyo. So you're so right about that, Joseph. I'm not even going to say no. Shelby says, do you have any film recommendations? Do I? Oh, yeah. You want present or past? Let's start with past. Polly. Have you seen Polly? Pauley, about a parrot? Talking parrot. It's Tony Shalhoub's for one of first movies. I think it's introducing Tony. And, you know, he went on to do a series that everybody loves and stuff like that. But it's a great, if you can find it, it's great. It's great. It's so great. And then one of my favorite movies to introduce kids. It was my favorite movie when I was a kid. One of my favorite movies to induct little kids. Like, let's say you have a 3-year-old. I've done this with people who have 3-year-olds who want to see a monster movie, but it's not scary. It's more kind of silly, but people play it for real. The Giant Claw, CLAW, The Giant Claw. It's black and white. It's hilarious. And there's a little trivia for you. The actress who plays the female lead in The Giant Claw, we found out not too long ago, is a very good friend of Clint Eastwood. No, I did not ask her to meet Clint Eastwood, but I want to meet Clint Eastwood, so maybe she could help me. But she was really good friends. So she shows up later in her life on in Clint Eastwood films, and she plays in Sudden Impact, a Clint Eastwood film, and that's the one where the woman has been brutalized and she gets revenge. And he's standing in the shadow on a wet street, and he's got that giant gun. And it looks so scary, and it plays, you know, deep boop, 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 kind of music. It looks very scary. It's very Eastwood. It's an amazing film. But this lady from The Giant Claw plays the waitress who's at the restaurant in one of the scenes. And apparently Clint Eastwood put her in movies all the time, and she's a rock star. I love this woman because she has such a lovely personality, and I loved her in Giant Claw. She's also been in like what was it, Black Scorpion and Tarantula. So you can see the movies I like, 1950s horror. So, but current films, I love Hidden Figures. I love Green Mile. I love Hacksaw Ridge. I love Hell and High Water. I love 3 Billboards. I love No Country for Old Men because it's just weird. I didn't like it when I first saw it because it's got kind of a really seriously weird ending. And but the Coen brothers they always deliver something odd. I'll watch it just because it's the Coen brothers, you know. It's great. Animation, Kung Fu Panda. This latest one, the latest one that Disney did, Luca. Love Luca. I think Luca is just a lot of fun. It's really fun. It's cute. It's darling. You know, animation doesn't have to work super hard for me to fall in love with it. You just have to have a good story, and I'm in. You know, so Kung Fu Panda 1 and 2 just had me at hello, as How to Train Your Dragon 1, 2, and 3. Just grab me and love on me. Soul, love Soul. Cruella, I was okay with, love the costumes, but just kind of me. You'll see I took that from Soul. And what else can I tell you? There's one coming out called Old by M. Night Shyamalan, and I want to see it. My husband is like, you've watched this stuff before and you haven't been happy. But I can't get over Sixth Sense. Sixth Sense was his blow the doors off my head movie, and I still to this day love it. It's with Bruce Willis. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, watch it. But he has had some tankers, some real sinkers, some real not so good ones. But I believe in M. Night, and I go and see them because I think he's not a one-trick pony. I think he's someone that got lost in his fame and lost his way, and we can do that. We get all this fame and we think we're all that, and we start to change, don't we? And we go, wait a minute, stop. We have a friend usually go, what's the matter with you? Get back down to earth. Stop thinking you're better than everybody else. And I think that he's I'm hoping that he kind of, and his feet touch the ground and maybe Old, because I saw the preview to Old, and it really looks interesting. It really looks interesting. It's about a vacation place where when people go on the beach, they age. So it sounds really cool. I saw it on AARP. AARP has movies for people like me. And they weren't all like that, but there definitely were some that were very interesting. I love movies who are more fanciful movies, more fantasy based. Yeah. Happy-go-lucky, upbeat. Usually, but Hell or High Water is not that. Hell or High Water has that amazing actor who played I think it's the first Star Trek where he played Captain Kirk. And then he was in one also about a boat that goes out into a storm. He's a very interesting, gritty actor. Forgive me, names don't always come to me. More faces. But in this one, he plays a man who decides to beat the bank. And that's all I'm going to tell you. And he has a brother that's crazy. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's what you want. You know, if you've ever dreamed of getting back at certain things in your, you know, you can live vicariously through this movie and not do it. So it's very cool. Yeah, it's a very cool movie. And then, trying to think. I'll always watch Dr. Phibes, which is Vincent Price as this really incredibly strange character that goes on a rampage after the death of his wife. And it's weird. It's so weird, guys. The Dr. Phibes and Dr. Phibes Rises Again. You're going to watch it and go, Terry is a little twisted. But I love these movies, and I'll watch them over and over again. And if you watch it and you want to talk about them later, I'll be more specific about what I really like. But if you haven't seen it, you know it. And Shelby, if you have a question about a movie, you're welcome to ask me. I don't go to a lot of theaters, but I sure do love watching them. And I really am about documentaries. So I love documentaries. Like I said, I really enjoyed this little penguin one that was on the African coast. So yeah, I hope that answers. How was your visit with your mom? Amazing. But I had to go through the gauntlet, the COVID gauntlet. You know, COVID police were there. You know, so it was a contactless fever. And then you reported your temperature to the receptionist. No touching. Then she, with gloves, gave you a N95 mask. You had to trade it out for your cloth one. Then it was a little backwards because then she asked you to take the mask off and swab your nose for your instant COVID test. And then COVID test I'm good. Put my mask on, go visit my mother. Because my mother doesn't walk, I had to wear the mask the entire time because she has two people over probably almost 100 years old in her room, fast asleep, and we have to protect them all. I didn't ask if they were vaccinated or not. She also took a picture of my vaccine card. She asked if she could, and I said, of course you could. So it was a great visit, only 40 minutes, but my mom had questions about the outside world. I told her about the pandemic and how safe she was and how glad I was she was this safe. I also told her about my sister living in Maui and how people are being very mean in Maui. And my sister is challenged with it because she lives there. She's a islander. She was born there, but she's been there for 6 years or so. And she says the tourists are really awful. And you've seen it in the paper that they have been. So we try to reach out to her whenever I can to help her feel better. But so I told my mom about that. And then I told her about, some of the things that were happening. And I'm going to bring her some of my drawings. She wants to see those. I asked her about movies that she loves. The Godfather series. She can watch that over and over and over again. That could just be on a loop. She loves the, she loves the Godfather movies. And she's always looking for them. They must be somewhere. There's no place for me to put a DVD in a room, or I just, I probably should do is just, see if I could loop it. And she just watches it, But it's kind of like kids in Frozen, They watch it over and over again, don't they? The character is actually named Goemon. Samurai was just named that one of the dubs, but I understand the mix-up. It wasn't a mix-up. He looks like a samurai. Easy for me to speak. So thank you for saying that. But yes, his name is Goemon. But I absolutely love this character when he sliced up the helicopter in half and walks out, and Lupin's like, what? It's cool. It's cool. Do you like the live action one? I haven't watched the new, I guess another season. That's the word. Season dropped. Speaking of mix-ups, the season dropped, and I just haven't watched it yet because I'm here working, and I usually play something that I can play in here while working. I can't do music because I dance to it, and I can't do a movie I have to watch because I get into it. So one of my favorite things to play over and over and over and over and over and over again that's new is Ted Lasso. It is my favorite series by far. It is beautiful. So I have it in the background and I know it by heart, and I can't wait for second season that happens this month. I'm a big super fan of that. I love that show. If you haven't seen it, you should, because it's everything good about a show. If you like This Is Us and the message they bring, this is even better. So loved Black Widow. Congratulations. I liked it. Didn't love it, but liked it. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you why, because it's still new, but we'll talk about that in the future. Okay. Why I didn't love it, but I liked it. And I love her. So that didn't change. I wish I could drive over for the garage sale. I wish you could too, because don't worry. I'll be looking for you, Deanna, because I know what you like. So if there's anything there that I think you might like, I will definitely show you. Today is my birthday. Happy birthday, Melissa. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Melissa. You're amazing. Happy birthday to you. There you go. I've had 3 sets of plans fall through. I now have nothing to do. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. Nothing. Aw. Why is that, do you think? Let's blame the pandemic. The pandemic is the go-to blame. Okay. I had the same problem. I had to make my own birthday cake. Do you remember me saying this, Melissa? Because I couldn't find a German chocolate cake done correct. Speaking of tradition. If you put too much of that coconut caramel frosting on the cake, it ruins the flavor balance. So I made my own. And my husband was like, you shouldn't have to make your cake. But you know what? I was so happy. I didn't eat the entire cake. I shared with a lot of people because sharing is caring. But I really enjoyed it. So I feel for you. Yeah, maybe nothing. Maybe look online and find something fun to do. Something that you've always wanted to do, that you want to try. I highly recommend if you're curious about sketching animated characters, or you're curious about animation at all, check the Chuck Jones Center for Creativity. They're always having amazing classes for a donation or free, whatever works. And I love their classes for mostly for kids, but that's my level. You know, when I'm learning something, I like people to talk to me like I'm a kid. Look at that. Everybody's saying happy birthday to you, Melissa. See, I'm so glad you told us. I remember that book. Michaela still has her signed copy. And Paul, I think you were one of the people that read it in line because I did a bigger font. I didn't do teeny tiny font because that annoys me. I did a bigger font and I did a small book so people could like an airplane book. You could read it. And people love that. And it sounded just like me. We also talked about Michael Roman, a part of the tribe, says he edits a lot of books. And he talked about how many, certain books that he came across that have so many typos and errors, he can barely read them. And I asked him about mine and he said, I'll have to go back. I said, please, because I'd love to hear his opinion. But I had somebody I hired. I actually asked somebody else to edit my little book. And I wanted it to stay sounding like me. So I said, if the grammar is a little bit odd, but not horrifying, please keep it because that's me. Okay. When it comes to grammar and English. But people like you looked at it and I asked, and she actually helped me because I called them rides and not attractions. So I changed that right away. And it's just wonderful to ask you guys for the help. Yay. See, you got a happy birthday wish from Ava. Oh, thank you. Come, my Club 33 shirt. See, it says 33 somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Here it is right here. Club 33 Hawaiian shirt. I actually bought it for somebody and they didn't want it. So I kept it. And now I love it. I love it because it's bright and it's perky and it's happy. It's kind of celebrating a little bit Disneyland's birthday, and the fact that I love Trader Sam's. Is that open yet? Oh, I miss Trader Sam's. Yeah. Here she is. Look at Francisca just had a birthday also Wednesday, right? And she's saying happy birthday to you. Isn't she, sweetheart? Michael, have a good weekend, one and all. Hello, Michael. I hope we can chat and I can show you our new book. Christmas is coming. Halloween is coming. I know you love this book. Great gift for people, right? Amazing, fabulous, wonderful. Everyone, I love you so much. Happy birthday to Melissa. Happy belated birthday to Francisca. And to our dear friend, to all July babies. How about that? My dad's is July 26th, so I'll be celebrating that too, saying happy birthday. Happy birthday to every single one. If you've got birthdays coming up, happy birthday. And please, let's take a look one more time. At my fish, no. Let's take a look one more time at the Giggling Pumpkins book. And I urge you, go to TerriHarden.com and check it out. It's a great little book. It's made very, very well. It's beautiful. It's pretty, and it's our first. So I hope you will go and pick yourself up one in the pre-sale for $18. Very excited, very, very excited for you to do that because it's lovely. It's very, very lovely. And no dissing, no making fun of anyone. I love every single one of you guys. You know that. I'm an actress and a voiceover person. So when I do voices, let me just disclaimer that it's not making fun of you. It's just what I do. So I love your voices, which is why I emulate voices all the time. Which is why I'm always doing this. One of my favorite. One of my favorite. Guys, do something nice for someone else. It'll make you feel so much better when you're feeling down. That's the best thing to do, is to call someone up or do something lovely. I'm with you, Linda. Trader Sam's. Of course, you are at WDW. You're near WDW. You guys have Yak and Yeti. That's my go-to when I'm at WDW. My friend John Johnston took me to Yak and Yeti, and I don't even see the rest of Animal Kingdom anymore. I want to go in there to eat at Yak and Yeti, and I could just I love Yak and Yeti. So, and then of course, Trader Sam's here in Anaheim. So that's what I love. I love you guys. My heart goes out to you. Hugs, kisses, Disney's birthday party. Don't get too depressed about this transference to Florida. We'll learn more about that later. It could be a good thing for many. And for others, a decision they need to make, right? But not everybody's going over there, as they say. They're not sure. It's breaking news. I heard it from Mice Chat. So hang in there. Have a good time. Celebrate your birthday, even if it's a candle and a cupcake, all right? You deserve it. I love you bunches. Happy, happy birthday. And we'll see you guys. Thank you, Daniel. And thank you for those amazing straws that you got me for my birthday, by the way, Daniel. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Be well and have a good weekend. See you on